have a question for you guys. Why aren't we inspired to create things, to manufacture things with our hands, right? Because we kind of lost this habits of creating our own stuff and the art of putting your work out there in the world, right? Because we have been taught over the years that, you know, you will be able to do a certain thing, to produce something, to have that job opportunity only when you will have this amount of knowledge, only when you will have this amount of experience, right? But they don't usually tell us to start right off. They don't tell us to start immediately, because we know inside that if we start things early on, even if we don't have much experience, we know that we are probably going to suck at the thing that we're doing. But here's the key. When you do something and you know that you are an amateur, that you literally suck at the thing you're doing, that's the highest motivation, because the person that has just started has no fear. He wants to do everything. He wants to discover the world. He wants to make mistakes. He's not afraid of making mistakes, because he knows that mistakes is the fastest way that will bring him closer to his goal. I believe we were made in the image of God, and God created things, okay? So if we were made as his exact image, that means that we were created to craft things, to manufacture things, because we have the power. What happened is, over the years, and especially with the school system, they kind of like got us into thinking that it is normal to wait a huge amount of time before making something, before doing stuff concretely, right? You have to spend many years of education before you get the ability and the experience and the knowledge to do something. What I'm saying is that in the modern world, where everything goes so fast, if you follow that pattern, you will inevitably be slower than anyone else. You will inevitably be, I don't want to say a failure, of course, but you will never see the best version of you, because if you're following a system that is broken inside, that is not created from a place of abundance, you will never get to a certain place. You will never get to see your highest potential. Why? Because if it takes to you, let's say 10 years to get that education that you need, maybe, you know, I'm talking broadly, because there are things that need time. If you want to be a doctor, if you need some type of specific work, it's correct, you have to study before. If you want to be a lawyer, if you want to be a doctor. But I'm saying like 90% of people out there spend enormous amount of time preparing themselves, right? As if we weren't able, as if we couldn't do things right off the bat. Do you think that Michelangelo and Leonardo da Vinci were 40 years old when they started their work? Of course they weren't. They had a totally different concept of how a human being matures, how he develops his abilities, because a human being develops his abilities over time by doing things, by creating things, by making mistakes. So this is the fastest way. Of course, then when you start very young, then you get to an age, let's say when you are 40, right? Where you create your masterpiece, where you create something that is actually valuable and it's literally the result of years and years of experience before. But I think that the actual system is literally created to keep you distant from creation. Why? Because creation gives us power. Creation is empowerment for people. Because once you create, you understand that you are manufacturing your own reality, and that all the things that you hear around, all the things that people taught you in the past are their perspective of life, their perspective of what it's supposed to be in the future, their perspective of how to be in your life. But why don't we let people be free to choose who they want to be and how they want to live, by experiencing, by having multiple experiences. And the good thing is that you can do this. You are a free human being. You have freedom of will. You can do whatever you want. What I want you to remember is, please never forget that you have the ability to create. And creating makes you free. Creating makes you the master of your life. So, even when you feel stressed, when you feel overwhelmed, right? When you're caught up in a loop of thoughts, what is the number one thing that releases this bad energy? Creating. Can be anything. Gardening or writing, even doing your makeup. Anything that is creation is a stress releaser. We are literally accumulating so much stress. When we accumulate all the knowledge inside, we need to let it go, guys. You need to let go all of your knowledge, all the things that you learned over the past years. Just let it go, because you know that you will make such a huge difference in the world by sharing what you know. I think you are special. We are all special, and we know things that other people don't know. So you probably know things I'm not familiar with, and I'd like you to teach me, to show me, because this is what makes us rich, right? Sometimes the system is built to cram us all together in classrooms where we don't get the freedom to choose to see how things can actually be, and we take for granted that there's a certain reality that, and we think that that is the only one reality that it's possible, right? You will get so much authority over yourself just by believing in yourself and sharing your work, sharing your thoughts. And taking the responsibility of what you're saying, because I'm openly saying things on YouTube, and I take on all the comments, right? It can be negative or positive comments. I'm okay with that. This is part of the courage of choosing to do something. You get whatever comes out of your work, and this makes you stronger, because even if people are not gonna like your work, even if people are gonna find you odd and weird and clumsy, it's okay. It's still you, right? The lack of clarity is okay at the beginning, because you will find your voice, you will find your path over time by trying different paths, by trying different solutions, by failing hundreds of times. But this is the most effective way, guys. You don't have to wait 10 years of preparation. What I'm saying is just start, do your work, create connections, because we are made of connections, okay? And in the meantime, you get educated, right? You learn, you study, just trust the process of it, John.
Hi guys, I was editing the video and I realized I didn't make an ending, so thank you for watching and for your time and attention. I'm so grateful that so many of you subscribe to my channel, and I'd like to know in the comment what you want me to talk about. And thank you for your time, thank you for your attention, and see you in the next video.